Have you ever felt your legs getting weaker over time, like the strength is slipping away step by step? Maybe you've blamed it on aging, thinking it's just a natural part of life. But what if I told you that's not the real reason? The truth is the food you eat every single day could be secretly stealing your leg strength without you even realizing it. Every bite you take is either building you up or quietly breaking you down, and the culprits might be sitting on your plate right now. Stay with me until the end, because I'm about to reveal 5 surprising foods that are silently weakening your legs, and the simple swaps you can make to take back your strength for good. This intro hooks the audience with a related question, challenges a common assumption, and builds intrigue by hinting at a hidden cause. It also gives a clear reason to watch until the end, learning about specific foods and actionable solutions to regain strength, making it both engaging and motivating. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Processed sugar, the silent muscle killer. Picture this. It's early morning, and you're still rubbing the sleep from your eyes, feeling that familiar sluggishness clinging to your body. You shuffle to the kitchen, brew a steaming cup of coffee, and reach for something quick to kickstart your day. A blueberry muffin from the bakery, a bowl of frosted cereal, or perhaps a seemingly harmless granola bar you grabbed from a store. It's a routine so ingrained it feels like second nature, a comforting start to your day. But what if I told you that this seemingly innocent breakfast isn't just fueling your morning, it's quietly waging war on your muscles, particularly the strength in your legs? Let's peel back the curtain on the truth. Processed sugar is a stealthy adversary, undermining your physical vitality with every bite. The moment that sugary muffin or cereal hits your system, your blood sugar rockets upward, delivering a fleeting burst of energy that feels like a win. But it's a deceptive victory. Almost as quickly as it rises, your insulin spikes to corral that sugar, pulling it out of your bloodstream and sending your levels crashing down. What's left in the way? Wake a wave of fatigue, a foggy brain and body that feels heavier than it should. Your legs, once ready to carry you through the day, now suddenly robbed of their vigor. But the damage doesn't stop at that fleeting sugar crash. Over weeks, months and years, the effects of processed sugar compound into something far more sinister. Excess sugar in your diet fuels chronic inflammation, a slow-burning fire that smolders beneath the surface, eroding your muscle tissue bit by bit. This inflammation doesn't just weaken your muscles, it interferes with your body's ability to absorb critical nutrients like magnesium, calcium, and potassium, elements your muscles rely on to contract, recover, and stay resilient. Without these building blocks, your legs grow weaker, your joints stiffen, your circulation falters, and over time you might even notice early signs of nerve damage creeping in, like tingling or reduced responsiveness. Here's the kicker: sugar isn't just lurking in the obvious suspects, candy bars, fizzy sodas, or those irresistible pastries at the coffee shop. It's a master of disguise, hiding in places you'd never think to look. That loaf of store-bought bread you use for your sandwiches, packed with added sugars to boost flavor and shelf life. Your go-to jar of pasta sauce, often laced with sweeteners to mask acidity. The healthy options: low-fat salad dressings, flavored yogurt, or energy bars marketed as fitness fuel, are frequently loaded with covert sugars that chip away at your strength while you're none the wiser. So how do you fight back against the silent saboteur? How do you break free from sugar's insidious grip and restore the power in your legs? It starts with smarter swaps. Ditch the refined white sugar for natural alternatives like raw honey, puree dates, or coconut sugar. Options that still satisfy your sweet cravings, but deliver nutrients and fiber to soften the blow on your system. When that mid-afternoon craving strikes, resist the siren call of sugary snacks and reach instead for a square of dark chocolate 70% cocoa, or hire a handful of almonds or walnuts, or a bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with fresh berries. These choices don't just your sweet tooth, they provide healthy fats, protein, and antioxidants that actively support your muscles rather than tear them down. Become a label detective to processed foods, love to sneak sugar, and under aliases like corn syrup, dextrose, maltodextrin, or anything ending in "us." Even products touted as low-fat or heart-healthy can be Trojan horses for hidden sugars, so scrutinize every package before it lands in your cart. The bottom line is this processed sugar is silently draining your strength, sapping the life from your legs with every unsuspecting bite. But you're not powerless. You can take control by making mindful switches and staying vigilant. You can rebuild your muscle resilience, keep your joints limber, and ensure your legs stay strong, active, and pain-free for years to come. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward to deep-fried and fast foods, the hidden enemy of your joints. You already know processed sugar is a silent muscle killer lurking in your daily diet like a wolf in sheep's clothing. But what if I told you the next culprit on this list is even more treacherous, targeting not just your muscles, but the very joints that keep you moving? Imagine the scene: you're out with friends after a long day, the tantalizing aroma of sizzling fast food wafting through the air. The basket of golden fries arrives alongside a plate of crispy fried chicken, or maybe a towering burger. You're with all the fixings. You take that first bite, crunchy, salty, bursting with flavor, and for a moment, it's pure bliss, a small indulgence you've earned. But beneath that satisfying crunch lies a hidden enemy, one that's quietly dismantling your body's foundation. Here's the harsh reality: deep-fried and fast foods are just as casual treats. They're ticking time bombs for your joints and muscles. You don't feel it in the moment, of course you don't, since the inflammation sparking deep within your tissues, or the slow clogging of your circulatory system that starves your muscles of oxygen and nutrients. You don't notice your bones quietly losing density, weakened by bite. These foods don't just pile on empty calories, they actively rob you of your strength, and they do it so subtly you won't realize the toll until it's too late. The primary villain here: trans fats, artificial artery clogging fats that lurk in nearly every deep-fried or fast food offering. There in the fries you dip and catch up, the fried chicken you savor, even that lighter crispy fish sandwich you chose thinking it was a healthier pick. Trans fats don't just add half to your waistline, they trigger a cascading inflammatory response throughout your body, a relentless assault that targets your muscles and joints like a battering ram. Over time, this inflammation doesn't just cause discomfort, it degrades muscle fibers, leaving your legs weaker, slower, and more vulnerable to strains or injuries. Ever wonder why you feel inexplicably sluggish after a greasy meal, like your body's moving through molasses? That's not a coincidence. Fried foods gum up your circulation, choking off the flow of oxygen and nutrients your muscles need to thrive. But the damage goes deeper still. Fast food joints and fry stations don't just cooking oil, they often reuse it, frying batch after batch in the same murky vats. This practice transforms the oil into a toxic brew teeming with free radicals, unstable molecules that rampage through your body, accelerating cellular aging, stripping calcium from your bones and further weakening your muscles. That crispy golden coating you love, it's not just a tasty shell, it's a delivery system for compounds that erode your strength over time. One day you might wake up and realize your legs don't carry you as confidently as they once did. That stairs feel harder, or that your knees ache for no apparent reason. That's the slow, creeping legacy of fried foods at work. Does this mean you're doomed to a life without crunch or flavor? Not at all. There's a way to reclaim control without sacrificing satisfaction. Instead of plunging your food into a deep fryer, opt for baking, grilling, or airframe. These methods deliver that coveted crispy texture without drowning your meal in harmful fats. Swap out the processed vegetable oils. Think canola or soybean for heart-healthy alternatives like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, which nourish your joints rather than inflame them. Craving something salty and crunchy? Skip the drive-through and try roasting chickpeas with a sprinkle of sea salt, baking sweet potato fries with a dash of paprika, or grabbing a handful of raw nuts. You'll still get that satisfying bite without sentencing your body to long-term ruin. Every bite you take is a vote for your future self. Will you fuel your strength or feed your weakness? The next time you're tempted by that plate of fries or that glistening fried chicken, pause and weigh cost. A fleeting moment of taste versus years of stiffness, pain, and diminished mobility. Your joints and muscles are counting on you to choose wisely, because what you eat today shapes how you'll move tomorrow. 3. Processed meats destroying muscle strength bite by bite. Imagine this scenario. It's been a long day. Your pie, pressed for time and hunger, is gnawing at you. You shuffle to the fridge or pantry seeking something fast-filling and effortless. Your eyes land on a pack of deli meat, perhaps some thinly sliced a juicy sausage or a trusty hot dog. It's convenient, savory, and seems like a solid protein-packed choice to tide you over. But what if I told you that behind that satisfying taste lies a hidden cost? With every bite, you might be unwittingly chipping away at your muscle strength, quietly undermining the power in your legs, and setting yourself up for a future of fragility and fatigue. Processed meats might appear innocent on the surface, a quick sandwich filler or a barbecue staple, but beneath their appetizing exterior lurks a troubling reality. These foods are packed with a cocktail of preservatives, nitrates, and sky-high sodium levels that over time wage a slow and insidious war on your body's ability to sustain robust, resilient muscles, especially in your legs. Let's start with sodium, a familiar villain. You've likely heard that too much salt spells trouble for your heart and blood pressure, but its effects on your muscles are just as sinister. Processed meats or sodium bombs. Think of that salty tang and a slice of pepperoni or the brine-soaked bite of a pickle paired cold. Cut this excess. Sodium doesn't just linger on your taste buds, it infiltrates your system, triggering water retention that bloats your tissues and hampers circulation. Your leg muscles, starved of optimal blood flow, grow stiff, sluggish, and less responsive over weeks, months, or years. This persistent imbalance saps their strength, leaving you winded after a short walk, prone to painful cramps, or struggling to climb a flight of stairs without a twinge of exhaustion. But sodium is only part of the story. The real culprits and processed meats, or the nitrates and chemical preservatives pumped into them to keep them shelf-stable and visually appealing. These additives might make your bacon look crisp and pink, or your salami stay fresh for weeks, but inside your body they're brewing trouble. Once ingested, nitrates try since form into compounds that spark inflammation, a low-grade chronic fire that smolders in your muscles and joints. Ever noticed that lingering stiffness or soreness after a sodium-heavy meal? It's not just dehydration or coincidence, it's your muscles crying out under the strain of this toxic assault. This inflammation doesn't just fade with a glass of water, it builds over time, breaking down muscle tissue and eroding the structural integrity of your legs. Day after day, bite after bite, your ability to move with ease diminishes as your muscles weaken and fatigue sets in faster than it should. And then there's the nerve factor, an even darker twist. Research has tied nitrates to potential nerve damage, meaning processed meats don't just target your muscles, they may also sabotage the very signals that keep them functioning. Picture this: weekend nerves misfiring, slowing your reflexes, throwing off your coordination, or even sparking nagging neuropathic pain that lingers in your legs. Suddenly that hot dog at the ball game or that turkey roll-up on your lunch break isn't just a meal, it's a gamble with your mobility. Everyday tasks like stepping off a curb, balancing on uneven ground, or even standing for long periods become harder as your legs lose their synergy of strength and control. So what's the way out? You don't need to ditch protein altogether. After all, it's essential for muscle repair and energy. The key is choosing wisely. Swap out those processed culprits for fresh, unprocessed alternatives. Picture a juicy grilled chicken breast, a tender slice of roasted turkey, or flaky piece of baked salmon. Pure, high-quality protein without the chemical baggage. If meat isn't your thing, dive into the plant-based post-world tofu, marinated in your favorite spices, hearty lentils, simmered into a stew, or creamy beans paired with rice. These options fuel your muscles without igniting inflammation or flooding your system with salt. And if you can't resist the occasional processed treat, seek out nitrate-free versions. Look for labels that scream "no additive," ZZZs, or "uncured," and treat them as a rare indulgence, not a daily staple. Because every bite you take is a choice, a step toward vitality or a slide toward weakness. Next time you peel back the plastic on a pack of deli meat or toss sausage on the grill, pause and reflect: is this fleeting convenience worth the slow theft of your leg strength, your energy, and your ability to strike through life unhindered? Your legs are your foundation, carrying you from one moment to the next. Don't let poor choices anchor them down. And if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment on number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. For high sodium foods draining strength from your legs. If processed meat sounded like a muscle-wrecking menace, brace yourself. Sodium alone is a stealthier, more pervasive threat lurking in corners of your diet you might not even suspect. You might pat yourself on the back for steering clear of salami or hot dogs, but high sodium foods are still slipping onto your plate, quietly draining the vigor from your legs with every unsuspecting spoonful or crunch. Think about your daily eats, that steaming bowl of instant ramen you turned want a chilly night, the canned veggies you toss into a stew, the frozen dinner you nuke when time's tight, or the salted pretzels you munch while binge watching your favorite show. Even that splash of soy sauce or dollop of ketchup you add for flavor, they're all sodium traps. A pinch of salt is vital for your body's balance, sure, but the flood of sodium in these processed and packaged foods is a different beast entirely. It's not just about taste, it's about what happens when that salt hits your system and starts rewriting the rules of your muscle health. Here's the breakdown. When you overload on sodium, your body scrambles to dilute it, holding onto water like a sponge. That puffy feeling in your fingers or ankles, it's not just cosmetic, it's a sign of chaos brewing beneath the surface. This water retention squeezes your blood vessels, choking off circulation and starving your leg muscles of the oxygen and nutrients they crave. Without that lifeline, your calves and thighs turn lethargic, prone to waking cramps, or that heavy dragging sensation that makes a short walk feel like a marathon. But the damage doesn't stop at sluggishness. Excess sodium throws a wrench into calcium absorption, quietly leaching strength from your bones. Weaker bones mean more stress on your joints and muscles, upping your risk of fractures, chronic pain, and a future where simply standing tall feels like a chore. Ever woken up to a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, or noticed your feet swelling after a salty takeout meal? That's your body waving a red flag, signaling that sodium stole his more than skin deep And here's the kicker: most people have no idea how much sodium that they're consuming. It's not just the obvious culprits like chips or fries. Sodium sneaks into healthy package foods like low-fat soups, whole grain breads, and even breakfast cereals. A single slice of store-bought bread might pack 200 milligrams of sodium. A bowl of seemingly innocent cereal could hit 300 milligrams or more. Add in a restaurant meal where sodium levels can soar past 1,000 milligrams, and one dish and you're drowning in salt without even tasting it. Worse still, processed foods are engineered to keep you hooked. That salty crunch or a mommy burst requires your taste buds telling your appreciation for the subtle flavors of fresh produce or lean meats. The more you eat, the more you crave, locking you into a cycle that piles on. Sodium stresses your kidneys, strains your heart, and saps your leg strength by bite. So how do you break free? Start by playing detective. Flip those food labels and brace yourself for a shock. The recommended daily sodium cap hovers around 2,300 milligrams, about a teaspoon of salt, yet the average person easily doubles that without a second thought. Take control by pivots to fresh whole foods. Swap canned soup for a homemade broth brimming with veggies. Ditch the frozen meal for a quick stir-fry of lean protein and greens, and season with flair. Think garlic, rosemary, a squeeze of lemon, or a dash of chili flakes instead of the salt shaker. If you're craving saltiness, reach for potassium-rich heroes like bananas, Remy avocados, or a handful of spinach. They help counterbalance sodium and flush it out of your system. And don't skimp on water. Hydration is your secret weapon, helping your kidneys sweep away excess salt before it settles in Paris. Salty slip up with dehydration, and you've got a perfect storm of fatigue, cramps, and creaky circulation. Every bite is a fork in the road. Fuel your muscles or fleece them next time you're tempted by that bag of chips or an extra drizzle of salty sauce. Pause and weigh the cost. Do you want legs that lift you or ones that let you down? The power's in your hands, and the good news, it's never too late to rewrite the script. Each fresh low sodium choice you make rebuild your strength, steadies your stride, and primes your legs to carry forward with confidence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment new on Birth 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 5 white bread and refined carbs robbing your must